Greetings from the Eccentric Man, and this game is going to be one of the Congo scenarios. So we're playing the first geographical scenario from the Congo book, and it's the what's it called, John?
I remember, I don't want to show you paper.
Over there. The Last Queen
of Aksoum.
The Last Queen of Aksoum. So set the table up with the explorers encampment in the middle. We've got some dangerous terrain. Those are the ones with the palm trees, and the groups of 4 is blocking terrain, and the ones without palm trees are blocking terrain. The little shrubby type ones are just there for good looks. We've got a few animals set out. Don't think they actually take much part of the game until people are in testing for dangerous terrain. But we've got John's hippo. Oh, there is a leopard somewhere over there as well. Yeah, John's leopard in the middle. And on the far side, John's hyenas. And my rhino. So that's the basic setup of the game. And we're going to start deploying the troops and work out the cards. My list comprised of a war chief, some fanatical warriors, some married warriors, some young warriors, and some Askaris who are armed with muskets. And that was my force, and it works out about 60 points. John's list is the Lady Poppingtons, and she's got the adventurers, soldiers, and lady archers, and some Askaris with muskets, and some scouts. So that's John's force. So John set up his column as per the rules for the scenario, and they are all within S of the central place of the table, which is a fire. I then set up all of my units, but I can have one off table, and I have gone for that. So I have set mine up the young warriors over here, the married warriors with the chief here, and the Askari over here. And I've got the fanatical warriors to bring on at turn 2. So John has got to get the crown off the table from a corner of a short table edge. So we're going to have to see how that runs. My unit in reserve can come on anywhere on a short table edge. So we'll see how that runs. So everything starts exhausted on the table, so we've got to roll a d8 to see what we get. Prior to choosing cards, there is a test for being exhausted for everyone. So it's on a d8, and you have to have a successful roll. And in Congo, successful rolls are always a 5. So my units that were on the table passed their tests, so they're all good to go. The explorers, it's a bad day for the explorers.
Yet again.
Yet again for the explorers.
John.
So, yeah, must be John. The soldiers rolled a 1, and if you roll a 1, not only do you get a stress token, choose a stress token, you lose a figure. You could have lost the bearer, John, rather than the soldier.
No, I don't need the bearer. Oh, what's the bearer do?
I think you could just do the bearer.
Non-effective movement stress token.
Then, did 2 units pass?
No, they all failed.
So they all get stress tokens?
No, he passed. So
right,
he
yeah.
passed,
Yep.
but he got an event.
He got an event, so that meant I could ask if a unit had the crown in it, and I asked if the women adventurers had the crown, but they haven't. But they pulled out a stress token, the red hat, the white hand, which means they can't do anything. And then the unit of bow, they've got a what is it? The terror.
The terror.
The terror.
This is a terror stress token. For each of these tokens, the group must suffer an additional hit when targeted by a terror action.
Right, there you go. So if I put a terror action on it, John would have to roll twice.
That's right, yeah.
Which sounds good to me. So John is now busily having a quick read to see what we do, and we're going to choose the cards for our first turn. A key part of the game, if you remember, is the use of these cards. So you have 7 and you choose 3 to play, 1 in each phase. So this is my selection for this particular turn. My strategy for this one was to put some terror tests on John's troops, then charge in the next phase, and then take some shots. So we're not so sure that was going to work, but that's what my theory was. I did remember it slightly wrong, because I thought the stress icon on the tokens meant you couldn't carry out that action, but it didn't. It just meant that you had 1 less dice when shooting or combat, and you could not move more than 1 short distance. So into turn 1, so it's split into 3 phases, so each phase is a card that you use, and we've gone through those. The last card I used was 3 terror tests, and I tried to do the lead unit of John's, who are hacking off with the bearer over there, and the sailors behind. He passed his terror test with the first unit, and they're okay, but sadly the sailors, on a D10, in fact 2 D10s, John failed to get anything over 5, so they took a stress token. The archers in the middle, I sort of focused again on them, and because they already had a terror test token, they had to take 2 terror tests and fail both. So they took 2 more stress tokens, so they can't move, they can't fire, and they take additional stress terror test for the one that they've got. John did do a bit of shooting and managed to kill one of my Ascari, but the shooting at the married warriors was ineffectual and he didn't do anything at all. So we're moving into turn 2. As John's got a unit within M of the centre, which is the fire, and I've got nothing within M, John takes an extra totem card. So that gives him 3 to be able to choose from, and I've got 2 to choose from now because I get 1 at the end of the turn. So we're moving into turn 2. So we've looked up the rules, and for this I get D10s. I need 5s on the D10s, and I get 1 extra D10 for my chief. So let's have a look and see what we get. We'll roll it up on there. So what have we got? Oh, John, that's not good. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 hits.
4 hits.
4 hits.
6.
Yep, D6 for John for his Ascaris.
1 hit.
1 saved.
1 hit.
No, 1 saved.
No, I do. I fight in exactly the same way.
Oh right, yes, it's 1 hit, isn't it? Yeah. So that means I win by 3.
Melee as expected.
So that's it, isn't it? You add up the hits and losses. So
scored 3 more.
So I've 3 more. So you look on the table.
Yeah. The winner scored 3 more hits than the loser.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You scored 4 and
I scored 4 and you scored 1.
The loser removes 2 figures, retreats and draws a stress token.
Oh right, that's it. Yeah. So it's work out the difference, then look on the table and the result. Into the second phase of turn 2, and I thought I'd try and intercept John with my fanatics on that far side. So I've done that, but I had the initiative because I wanted to get a charge in the centre. However, what we've got now is that John has plays his card, and he's done a runner with this unit here. I've got no idea if this is the one that's got the crown, or it's the sailors that have got the crown. It's a tricky one. So he sort of split the 2 up now, and I've got to try and decide which one to go after. But I have got the Ascaris, and we've got 1 more phase of turn 2 left. So we'll see how we can go with that. The Lady Explorers are armed with rifles. They've taken a shot at my married warriors with the king, and John has caused 2 hits and I saved 1, so I lose 1 figure, but I now got to take a test to see whether my character has been shot, and we're thinking that it's a D10 and I need a 1. If it's a 1, he's been shot. Is that what we're reckoning?
I don't know, I'm just trying to find it.
We'll have a quick look in the rulebook. We were right, and it requires a roll of a D10, and if I get a 1, then he's a casualty.
No, he's alright.
He's alright. What was he rolled? It's rolled an 8, so we're good. We're all good. End of the turn, and the African tribe is threatening the centre of the camp. We might be able to get a bit of looting going on. We'll see what we can do. Over here, the Ascari are a little bit out on their own, but they've got range to shoot the native bowmen in the camp. Over here, Johnny has given me a bit of a dilemma, because he had another movement phase with his cards and zapped this unit of natives around the difficult terrain, or the high dangerous terrain. But he's also moved up the sailors. So I don't know whether this group or the other group have got the crown. I'm thinking that it's probably this one, because he's motoring them around. So I've countered with my fanatics, and we're going to see what we can do with them when we go into turn 3 now. In the centre, John did a really good move with his sailors and moved them up into a good position to threaten both the fanatics and also my Ascari. Pesky sailors have just taken a shot and got 3 hits, but I rolled my defence save and only saved 1, so I've lost 2 warriors. That's quite a big hit out of 4, so yeah, that's a bit of a shame. Because we had duffed up these people, but oh yes, and I did get a stress token for that last combat, and that stress token gave me the opportunity to ask John whether this unit here had the crown, and it does. So this is a unit that we're trying to chase down now, which is going to be tricky, I think. Well, well, well. The sailors have fired again and took out another of the fanatic warriors. So I've just got 1 of those, which means I've had to divert the Ascari. So I've run them over here, and with my terror token, well, terror card, I've had a test on these sailors, and they failed, and they've drawn out a shooting token. So that means that they fire with 1 less dice next turn. So that might save me, it might not. So John's going to make a decision on what's going to go. So that was the end of turn 3. But in the centre, not too much going on. The lady adventurers are making a break for it. I didn't do anything with the married warriors this time, because I didn't really have the cards to want to do another charge. Well, I did want to do a charge, but I had to use the card that I had selected to get the Ascaris to move. So into turn 4, there's only turn 5 turns in this game, so we're going to see how we get on. We've got to do a bit of, got to do something in this turn. Phase 3 of turn 4, and John won the initiative with a 3 against my 2. Yeah, that was probably not a good choice by me, but hey ho, that's how we go. So with that, John has zoomed the unit with the crown right to this corner, and with his sailors has charged the Ascaris. This could be very bad for me, and very good for John. In the centre, I've been able to knock out 1 unit of John's troops, but that's about it. So, yeah, this is going to be a big hinge of the game, and I think John's going to sneak this one. So we'll see how we roll for the dices. So, John, what have you got?
3 d8s and a d6.
3 d8s. All right, yep. Needing a 5.
Oh, it's 3 hits.
3 hits.
Yep.
Oh, ouch. 3 hits. Is it simultaneous?
Yeah. So you get combat back.
So combat back. Oh yeah, that's how it runs, isn't it? Oh, not very good. I think it's going to be. It's the Ascaris, so it's going to be d6.
I'll check for you. Why you got that in your hand?
Yeah. Let's just get some dice. Oh.
You're not Polish tribes, are you? The other
No.
One.
As I thought, my Ascaris there are using d6s, so I need 5s or 6s. None.
So I'm 3 up.
So 3 up. That's going to
2 figures.
2 figures.
You retreat an S.
Yep.
And you take a stress token.
Oh, not good. The cruelness of wargaming and gaming. My last card was a shoot or a run and a charge, and 1 stress. So I removed the 1 stress from the Ascaris, who lost to the sailors, so that I charged. What?
Because you can only do 1 action. You can't remove the stress and move them.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that? Oh, does that count as an action?
Yeah.
Removing the stress?
Yeah.
I think you're probably right, doesn't it? Oh, rerun that then. So I think it just removes their stress, doesn't it?
Yeah. Or you can charge me in with the stress.
Or I can charge him with the stress. But no, it's no good, is it? Oh, yeah. Rewind then. We're hoping this is right. So if anybody's watching it and knows, they can tell us. But it is a big part of the game. I've played the action card there, which is gives me a move or shoot. But I've also played the card, the totem card, which is remove 1 stress. And how we read it is you can use the card to remove the stress on the unit that you are actioning. And if that is the case, I've removed the combat stress from the Ascaris, who got it from losing to the sailors. That gives me 2 dice to attack John's unit with 2 dice, and he's got because he's got a combat stress, so that takes his attacks down to by 1. So that he's got 3 men there, so that gives him 2. Rolled the dice, and it was 1 dice each. But what happens in that is the defender retreats and drops the object. So the object is now dropped. And I'll have to have a little read of the object bits, because that means I may well have picked it up just at the end of turn 4. If we've got that wrong, John obviously will probably win the game, would have won the game. If not, then yeah, it's possibly a win to me. I was hoping that I would have the initiative there and put a stress on John's unit, so it would give him 4 stress tokens before he could move. But fortunately for John, he had an initiative totem card, so he puts that with his 5, and that puts his initiative up by 1 to 6. And he had the green token, so he has elected to go first and given me the initiative for the next turn, for the next phase, which means that his unit can now get in contact with the objective and he can collect it. So now he's still got to take a terror test on them. So he could still get 4 stress tokens, and he won't be able to move unless he's got a totem card which allows him to remove a stress for the next phase. So, okay then John, you need to roll a d6 for your stress. Oh, what? How many? Oh, no, you haven't even got a terror test stress. Third phase of turn 5, and this is the last phase of the game. And John has played his last card, and it was the lowest initiative, but I couldn't do anything about it because he saved that pesky terror test, which would have given him 4 stress tokens. But he has got a foot there, which means, but you could have moved off anyway, couldn't you?
Yeah, but it just.
But yeah, but with the foot there, it doesn't account because the bearer can carry heavy loads and ignores a movement stress token. So John, last kick of the game, gets his crown off the table. So we'll have a quick tally up of points and see who has won. I think that's probably won John the game just at that last moment. Totaling up the points, John got 2 points for each of my units destroyed, so that was 4, and he gets 10 points for the crown getting off the table. I scored 2 points for 1 unit destroyed and 2 points for a loot token, giving John the win. Well done, John.
Cheers.
That was in the balance till the end, wasn't it?
It was To and fro all through the whole game.
It was a bit to and fro, wasn't it? Yeah, that was good fun there. Fun in the jungle. Well, or the savannah in this case. Well, I hope you enjoyed the game. We certainly did. It was really close at the end in that last turn and the last 2 action steps. I managed to get the crown and then had to drop it, and then John passed his terror test on a 6 to be able to activate his troops to pick up the crown and take it away. What a good win for John that was. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to another Congo game coming up. John's expeditionary force will be trying to capture the giant ape Kong. So tune in for the next instalment from the darkest continent. I hope you enjoyed it. Keep watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit that notification button and share with your friends. Till the next time, take care.